Daniel's a different fighter, but let's not make no mistakes about this. He's fighting one of the best fighters. So he has to do something amazing to win this fight. You know, do you understand? So he has to go in there and do something which has never been done before.
Yeah.
It's a tough ask, of course. You know, the thing with Usyk is he doesn't depend on his power to knock you out. He depends on his skill. That's why it's a tough ask, because he's going to box rings around you.
You know, jabs, using lateral moves.
Experts in heavyweight boxing are offering their opinions on the eagerly awaited rematch between Daniel Dubois and Oleksandr Usyk. Derek Chisora thinks Daniel needs to use his jab more and attack this battle in a different way than they did. The first one. He underlines that defeating Usyk calls for both mental acuity and physical strength. It's implying that Usyk will probably prevail again unless Dubois makes significant adjustments. Chisora does, however, allow for an upset if Daniel fights more cunningly. His remarks benefit Usyk, but they also express optimism that Dubois might surprise everyone by entering the ring with a more astute strategy.
What I'm saying is this, yeah. To beat Oleksandr Usyk, you have to be mentally disturbed in your head. Yeah?
You have to be mentally disturbed.
Yeah, because you have to understand.
Or to take the fight in the first place.
Yeah, because when I saw him a couple of months ago,
yeah,
I had a coffee with him, we were just chatting. The guy lives in Ukraine.
Yep.
Yeah. He goes, oh, before I came on the plane, I was sleeping in my house, and then those missiles were going over my house, and I didn't want to go in the bunker. I was like, I'll just go to sleep. There's some craziness, isn't it? I mean, like, imagine you're in your house in Barna, Timbuktu, and then missiles are going. What are you gonna be like?
Yeah, he's cut from very different stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then remember,
Anthony Joshua explains in great detail why Daniel Dubois's first bout against Oleksandr Usyk went badly, and why the rematch will be a real challenge. Since Usyk's southpaw stance confuses orthodox boxers like Dubois, he says he's a very good and cunning opponent. Joshua claimed that Daniel was unable to use his right hand or jab. The fact that southpaws stand farther back and make it more difficult to make clean shots is one of his greatest advantages.
Generation. You know, he done really well to go up against him and push Oleksandr Usyk in certain ways. Oleksandr Usyk's a good opponent. The thing where Daniel struggled, obviously, with southpaw, Daniel couldn't get his jab off, which is one of his main weapons, and his right hand off, because her southpaw, they're a bit further back because their stance is different. So you have to kind of counter with the right hand, and Daniel couldn't get his main weapons off, so he struggled a little bit. But it's cool. Came back, beat Jerome Miller, big, strong, heavy guy. Beat Filip Hrgović, who was apparently the boogeyman of the division. So he's done well to be in this position now after that. He's done well. Oleksandr Usyk fight, unlucky, came up short, but he's done well to bounce back.
Do you think it was a legal shot against Usyk or not?
I don't know. It's not. It don't matter what I say. It don't matter. What do you think?
I thought it was very close.
His struggle was significantly impacted by his incapacity to employ his primary weapons. Joshua, nevertheless, also gives Dubois credit for his reaction to that defeat. He emphasizes Daniel's victories over well-known opponents like Filip Hrgović and Gerald Miller, who were both viewed as adversaries who posed a threat. Joshua claims that despite the loss to Usyk, Dubois has improved his mental toughness and rebuilt well enough to get this second opportunity.
No, you.
I think it's on referee's discretion. I think if some referees call it legal...
So your opinion doesn't matter then?
I think more people are more interested in your opinion.
But I'm interested in yours.
If the referee called it legal...
No. You.
Either way, I think. Either way. Because some could argue Usyk wears his shorts high.
You.
I'll say it was legal.
It was legal.
We can call it legal.
Illegal?
No, legal.
Okay, legal.
Oh, yeah, you must have an opinion as well.
Probably legal. It's a fight. You get hit around the belt, you get hit around the leg. I think it is what it is. He got hit and he went down. Legal.
Oleksandr Usyk has a clear and determined approach going into the rematch. Usyk makes it apparent that he considers his first bout with Daniel Dubois to be over rather than lingering on the events that transpired. He has no interest in reliving the past or defending what officials and fans have already determined to be incorrect. Rather, he is focusing all of his efforts on the here and now. Usyk has been practicing as though the impending battle were a completely other circumstance. He views this as a fresh challenge and takes a methodical, forward-thinking approach. There isn't any emotional baggage from the last game. It's just the motivation to return to peak performance.
All situation. But I not think about my first fight because it was in the past. Now we have a new fight. Maybe, I don't know, but I not think about this. Maybe Daniel do it again, but for me it doesn't matter because it's God's will. But I ready. I training long time. I have good protect in my both. Doesn't matter.
Do they think too much about the past?
Eddie. Hearn provides a viewpoint that enriches the rematch's continuing story. Hearn, who has overseen and produced several world title bouts, assesses this rematch's technical and promotional aspects. He emphasizes that a lot is on the line, particularly given how things ended in the past. Hearn claims that both fighters are under tremendous pressure, but Dubois in particular needs to demonstrate that he is worthy of competing at the highest level. He gives his team credit for developing the appropriate plans and makes suggestions about how Daniel's preparation may have changed.
First fight, that was a low blow or not? I don't actually know your opinion.
I did. I mean, personally, I keep seeing the photos. You know, at the time of the punch, I believe it was low. Was it borderline? Yes. Were his trunks high? Maybe. So, for me, I did think that it was below the shorts. Where's the navel? Where's all this kind of, was it Louis Pabon? Was he the referee?
Correct.
You know, does he have to say, look, we can't see your navel, you got to pull your shorts down?
He didn't do any of that.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You know,
Don't mention his name around Frank.
Oh, Louis Pabon. Okay.
Whatever you do, don't mention.
But one thing I will say is, Usyk don't like it to the body. No. And he was probably lucky because even if it was 3 or 4 inches higher, I think it would have had the same effect that it had.
And it would have gone on.
It didn't hit him in the nuts, put it that way.
When he went on Piers Morgan, didn't they, a couple of weeks ago after the fight, and they played it back, and it was here, it was right there. That's where it was. You see it on there. All the photographs. It depends where they decide they want to stop, where the punch is coming from, and where it lands. But listen, do you know what? All of that now is irrelevant. He's got to, Daniel, on the 19th. What he's got to do the 19th of July is show what he's all about. He knows that he can hurt him. And Usyk knows that as well.
He's a completely different fighter now.
He is. Well, they said it. They're saying.
The fight between Usyk and Dubois in 2023 did not finish without controversy. A punch was the turning point in the bout. Referee declared Dubois's landing on Usyk's midsection to be a low blow. But that call caused discord in the boxing community right away. While some defended the referee's judgment, others thought it was a fair body shot. This incident overshadowed the otherwise intense fight and left the two heavyweights feeling like they had unresolved business.
Actually, go and look at
two of them, just to correct you there, and I agree with the judges on this. 2 of the judges gave him the 4th round. 1 of the judges gives him the 5th round, which is the low blow round. The 4th round, 2 of the 3 judges give the 4th round to Dubois, not the 5th.
Yeah, but one of the judges did give him the 5th.
Yes, they did, yeah. One of them did give him the 5th, yeah.
Which I disagree with. I actually thought that Usyk got off the deck and gave him a bit of a pasting in the final sessions of that 5th round. Listen, he lost comprehensively. We had, 8 completed rounds. Usyk won at least 6 of them.
Correct.
At least.
Correct.
So when you're talking about the gap between the guys, I thought it was really, really wide. But Don Charles, the team, whoever's been around Daniel Dubois, paused that fight.
Played a massive part in it.
Getting inside his head to convince him, you nearly had him.
Yeah.
You nearly had him.
Yeah.
To get him, it doesn't matter whether I believe it, or Tom, Dick, or Harry down the road believes it, or any fan believes it. We all saw what we saw. As long as Daniel Dubois believes what he's being told.
During the official face-off, the fighters' tension became more apparent. Daniel Dubois' body language and remarks conveyed a clear message, and he looked more direct and hostile than ever. Many saw his actions during the stare-down as an attempt to frighten Usyk, who is typically cool and collected. It became clear that the rematch is about more than just belts, as the situation rapidly heated up. Now, it's personal. The excitement around July 19th has only grown as a result of this abrupt increase in animosity. Dubois was successful in drawing attention to the emotional buildup of the fight. Whether it was a sincere act of disrespect or a well-thought-out psychological ploy, the face-off has now added another level of narrative that makes this rematch much more dramatic and unexpected.
I can't wait for Oleksandr Usyk to teach Daniel Dubois a lesson in the rematch that's taking place Saturday, July 19th at Wembley Stadium. Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois have a face-off to promote their fight. Now take a look at this. Listen. Daniel Dubois pushes Oleksandr Usyk and then goes and calls him a pussy. I find it quite funny when a quitter calls someone else a pussy. Huh? Make it make sense, because Daniel Dubois, yeah, you've come off a few good losses, but we have to remind the peoples your true nature. When shit gets tough, you quit. Look at that fight between you and Joe Joyce. You quit. The fight against Oleksandr Usyk, you quit. And for you to go and disrespect Oleksandr Usyk, one of the greatest boxers of our eras. Yeah, the man is so humble inside the ring and outside the ring. You are going to get taught a lesson. Now, when Oleksandr Usyk beat Tyson Fury, Daniel Dubois jumped into the ring and started begging for a rematch. I honestly believe you disrespected Oleksandr Usyk then, because that was his moment, that was his time to shine, and then you came along and messed everything up. Now, Oleksandr Usyk is going to teach you a lesson for that. Oleksandr Usyk is going to teach you a lesson for pushing him, and Oleksandr Usyk is going to teach you a lesson because you think you are the dog's bollocks right about now. Listen, I always like to support our own. I'm a Brit. I like to support British fighters. But listen, in this instance, in this case, in this up-and-coming fight, I am rooting for Oleksandr Usyk. I hope he teaches you a lesson and he reminds you of your place. Enough of me waffling. I want you guys to let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this fight. Bosh.
Ahead of the rematch, promoter Frank Warren has shown a strong belief in Daniel Dubois. He underlines that in his last 3 appearances, Dubois has shown a great deal of maturity. The task is made much more significant by Warren's description of Usyk as one of the best boxers of this age. His self-assurance goes beyond mere self-promotion. It shows the alleged mental development and tactical changes Dubois has experienced. Warren claims that a victory for Daniel over Usyk would rank among the biggest in recent heavyweight history. He presents the battle as an opportunity to make history as well as win.
You're a little bit bolder than that, aren't you? Yeah, I think if Daniel can do what he's done in his last 3 fights, I think he can win the fight. I'm very confident in him, and you're going to get a good Usyk anyway. You know, Usyk's a consummate professional. You know, it's not like he backed out the fight. He wanted the fight, so he obviously and his team believe in him. And that's why it's going to be such a good match. But I think that Daniel knows he can hurt him, and what I think, and I hope they're overlooking, Daniel can box a bit as well. He's not a one-trick pony. He's not just smash and bash. He's got a great jab, and he can box.
Derek Chisora joined Simon on Top Boxing yesterday, and of course Derek Chisora has stood in front, as many have and many failed, and he was one of them, facing up to Oleksandr in the ring. Derek offered some information on how Dubois might go about taking care of Usyk on the night though, Frank. Have a listen to Derek.
To beat Oleksandr Usyk, you have to be mentally disturbed in your head. Yeah?
You have to be mentally disturbed.
Yeah, because you have to understand.
Well, to take the fight in the first place.
Yeah, because when I saw him a couple of months ago, I had a coffee with him, we were just chatting. The guy lives in Ukraine. I was sleeping in my house, and then there was missiles going over my house, and I didn't want to go in the bunker. I was like, I'll just go to sleep. There's some craziness, isn't it? I mean, like, imagine you're in your house in Barna, Timbuktu, and then missiles going. You're gonna be like,
he's cut from very different stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then remember, so you have to come in there looking to go to the other side because he's looking to go to the other side.
What do you make of that, Frank? Usyk's a special case because of where he comes from and what he's lived through, according to Derek.
Yeah, it's been tough what what the whole country's going through. There's no doubt about that. But Daniel's had a real tough upbringing himself. It's just been boxing. His dad took him out of school. He's homeschooled, and all he did was live and breathe boxing. So he doesn't know anything different than boxing. That's what he's been brought up to do. And now I feel that mentally he's really matured, and as I say, coming off of these great wins he's had, he's already shared the ring with Oleksandr, and he knows what he's got in front of him, and he's not phased at all. He called out and wanted this fight. He wants revenge, and as I say, I believe in him. If it's all about being mentally disturbed to beat him, I thought then Derek should have won.